Hey there, Stampin' friends. This is Randy from Stampin' with Randy. Today we're going to make a fun pocket card using the In Symmetry stamp set and the coordinating designer series paper called Sweet Symmetry. We're also going to be using the Symmetrical Stems border punch, and you can get these two items together in a bundle and save some money there. It's in the regular annual catalog. We're also going to be using the Native Navy and Flirty Flamingo ink. So let's go ahead and get started making this card. You're going to need a few pieces of cardstock and a few pieces of designer series paper. I also have some tag pieces cut out here using the Stitch So Sweetly dies. This is from the Stitch So Sweetly die, and then this is just a piece that I cut to go in the middle. It'll fit right in the middle, and that's where our sentiment will be. So we'll put that aside for now. I have a base cardstock layer that is 5.5 by 4 1/4, and this is using Petal Pink. This is just a 1/4 sheet of cardstock. To layer on top of that, I've got some designer series paper measuring 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm just going to stick that on using my Stampin' Seal. All right, now I've got another piece of Petal Pink cardstock, and this is a square measuring 3.5 by 3.5, and I also have a piece of that same designer series paper measuring 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and we're just going to cut these diagonally using our Stampin' trimmer. Now this is the old one. That we sell a new one, a new style in the catalog, but this one is working just fine for me, so that's why I'm still using it. I'm just going to put this square diagonally in my cutting track, line it up from corner to corner, and slice down. This side will be extra. I can use it again on another card, so I'm just going to set that aside. I'll do the same thing with my designer series paper. Line it up and slice it down, set this one aside. Put my trimmer out of the way. So now I've got my two triangle pieces, which I'm just going to layer together here. Okay, just like that. All right, and this will go right down here in the corner. Now, if I can find my silicone mat, that will come in handy for this one, but I don't see it right here. So we'll just go without it. What I'm gonna do is on the back side, I'm gonna take my Stampin' Seal and I'm going to just run some along the edge, trying to stay very close to the edge to keep my pocket intact. Any adhesive that hangs over, if I had my silicone mat, it would just stick to that and come right off. Or I can carefully peel this up and just tuck over any that is still hanging there. I did get a little on my table, so I'll have to clean that up later. I'll do the same on this edge. Okay, I'm gonna stick that right here in the corner. All right, so now we've got a nice pocket there that I can tuck my card in. Let's go ahead and embellish this a little bit. I'm going to use the flower from that Sweet Symmetry stamps, or In Symmetry stamp set, and I'm also going to use Hey Friend. As long as I'm stamping, I'll do that as well. So I've got this piece of Whisper White. It's just, or I'm sorry, Basic White. It is just a scrap, and I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo to stamp this flower. And through the magic of TV, I have fussy cut that out. So we'll close up that ink and put that off to the side. Then I'm going to use my Symmetrical Stems border punch. And I'm going to punch out 2 stems here. And I'm going to go ahead and use some glue dots to adhere these stems right here on my pocket. Put that down just for spacing purposes. Okay, and then I'm going to use dimensional adhesive, a couple of those. Just to pop up that flower. Okay, now that we've got our pocket piece all finished, let's go ahead and do our card piece. So here's a piece of designer series paper, and it measures 3 inches by 8 inches, and it's hard to tell, but I did score it halfway at 4 inches. This is going to fold over and become our card. And then I have a piece of green, and I accidentally used the wrong piece for my leaves, so we're going to pretend that didn't happen, and we are going to glue this right on here. So I'm going to put my adhesive on the back here. And stick that on. This piece measures 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So that fits on there perfectly. And then I cut a piece of Whisper White, which measures 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. That will go right inside. And I chose not to do any stamping on here. Of course, you could stamp another inside greeting, you could stamp some more flowers, you could dress it up however you want, but I chose to, that's a little bit crooked, so I'm going to see if I can pull that up. I chose to just leave it blank. It is a cute little note size card, and I wanted to give enough space for writing inside, so I chose not to stamp anything inside. This will just tuck right inside here like that. And now let's bring in that label piece. So this is from the Stitch So Sweetly dies, and it is not the smallest rectangle, but the next smallest rectangle. And then I cut a piece that will fit just right inside here. My sentiment will still fit on it. So this is about 1 3/4 by 3/4, I believe was the measurement on that piece. And I'm going to use my Night of Navy to ink up the Hey Friend from that stamp set. Stamp it down, and it fits perfectly. I'll use a little more adhesive and stick that on. And then a few more dimensionals on the back. And then this will go right on my pocket, or my card, just like that. And it tucks right inside the pocket. So I hope you liked that card. I do have one more sample using our Sweet as a Peach bundle. And it's the same kind of card with a little note card tucked in the pocket there. So I hope you enjoyed our cards today. Please subscribe, leave a comment. Make sure when you subscribe that you're doing it so that you can get notifications of when I go live next or when I have new videos. Thanks for watching. Happy stamping. Bye for now.